What's up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another Farming Simulator 2017 tutorial. Today we're going to be focusing on one of the new additions into the game, and that would be the poplar trees. A lot of people have asked me about these, and so today we're going to cover the whole process for planting and harvesting these. The poplars give you an alternative way to get wood chips in the game, so you don't have to do the forestry and the wood chipping. You can just plant these, let them grow up, and then use a special cutting head on the front of a forage harvester to go ahead and process them into wood chips. So today we'll just go through the whole thing for you. Now I will go ahead and preface this video by saying this. Poplar trees take a lot of time. It's not like doing a standard fruit. The planting process is slow. You're going at 3 miles an hour across the field. A field of this size that we're looking at here in front of me is going to take you anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 hours just to plant it. That's real time. That's not in-game time. The second thing, where most of your crops is a 1-day growth cycle, poplars is a 2-day growth cycle. So plan on that. You're going to have 48 hours in-game before they are ready to harvest. And then the next thing you've got is the harvest time. The harvester runs at 4 miles an hour, so just as slow as the planting process. So you're looking at another 2 to 3 hours just to harvest the field. So if you're one of these folks who likes to blow through the game as fast as possible, this probably isn't a crop that you want to plant. Or you just need to budget a little bit of money so that your hired help can do the planting for you, because it is a pretty long time consuming job. All right, with that said, let's jump into the store. I'll run through the equipment you're going to need. The first thing you need to do is you need to come to forestry equipment, where we're going to look for a planter. We're going to use the Damcon PL75. It runs you $26,000 to buy it outright. It's $10 a day in maintenance. It does require a tractor with at least 100 horsepower on it, and it does move at a whopping 3 miles an hour. So if you're thinking, well, I'll just add a bigger tractor to this and I can pull it much faster. Nope. 3 is the max on it for the planting process of trees. Most of you guys who were in Farm Sim 15 know that, because it is the same planter that you use to do regular tree saplings. Once you have a planter, now you can rent this if you wanted to rent it, of course. $28.60 is what you're plopping down initially to rent it. It does have a $1,300 base cost as well as operations per hour, and then your per day fee is $260. Once you get your planter, now you need to go over to the pallets section, scroll all the way to the very end. You've got 2 pallets here. The one that we're looking for is the poplar saplings pallet. Don't get this one, get this one. And it holds 2,000 units in it, but they will go through quickly. You're probably going to need, like for a field of this size, I'm going to be looking at using a dozen to a dozen and a half pallets out of here. So they do go by pretty quick. We planted field 27 and it took like 18 pallets of saplings in the multiplayer. So keep that in mind. You're gonna have to have quite a few of them. So again, budget that into your time that it's going to take you, because that's time that you're going to have to go over to the shop, get a bunch of these and bring them over field side, so they're ready to go when you start your planting procedures. From there, we'll plant, they'll be ready to harvest, and you're going to need yourself a forage harvester. Any of the 3 forage harvesters in game will work. You just need to make sure that any forage harvester you use has the wood chip icon on there. That'll let you know. The Pottinger, no wood chip icon, you can't use it. So you'll have to get one of these guys. And then you'll have to have a cutter head for the front of it. So go to forage harvester headers, and we'll go all the way to the end over here where we find the New Holland 130 FB. It is $25,000 to purchase it, $60 a day in maintenance. It's 2 meters wide and goes at a whopping 4 miles an hour. So as you can see, again, harvesting is going to be a slow process. Now, if you decide to rent this, you're going to be popping down $2,750 initial, $1,250 on your base cost, as well as your per hour operations hour, and then $250 a day on your rental fee on that. So those are the numbers. Those are the pieces of equipment you will need. Of course, you'll also need a tipper trailer. Be aware that if you're thinking forage harvester, forage wagon, use the Crone. It does not take wood chips. So keep that in mind. Most every other tipper does take the wood chips, so you'll be able to use those. All right, from there, it is time to get in here and plant. Now, field preparation is essential for this, because one thing that I have come to notice is once they get in, unlike the rest of the crops that you plant, these seem to not take fertilizer once they get to their second growth stage. Right after the initial planting and you get to that first growth stage, your trees will be small little bushy trees and you can fertilize them then, but after that they don't seem to take any additional fertilizer. So it is pretty essential that you prep your field properly. I do recommend that you get 2 applications of fertilizer into the field before you plant. Then you can plant, you can let it grow into its first growth stage, and you can do your third and final fertilization at that point. Anything after that, I've done several tests on these, and after the first growth stage, I didn't seem to be able to get any fertilizer down. They tend to get about this size in the second growth state, and once they reach that, it seems like they're too bushy and they don't take any fertilizer. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it didn't seem like it was. It didn't seem like I was ever getting any more fertilizer after that first growth state. So go ahead and get yourselves 2 applications of fertilizer in the field before you plant. However you want to do that, you can fertilize and plow, and then fertilize and cultivate, and then plant, or you can fertilize, plow, fertilize, cultivate, fertilize, plant. However you want to do it. Just make sure you get 2 applications of fertilizer in right up front. Then all you got to do is jump into your tractor, fire it up, come over here, and we'll do a planting. Now, again, the boxes of saplings, there's 2,000 per box, but I've already gone through enough. I'm not going to buy any more just for this demo. So I do highly recommend GPS for this because you want to plant in a straight line, and GPS will help you out with that. Lower down your back implement, go ahead and turn it on using the B key and start planting those trees out. Go ahead and hit cruise control, get yourself a movie over on a TV or a computer next to you and start watching that, because you're going to be sitting here for a while just crawling across the field. So you can sit here for 2-3 hours, babysit this guy, or you can just hire help and let them go across the field, but it will cost you quite a bit, as they're buying their own resources and they're racking up those hourly charges. So it's however you want to do it. If you got the time to kill, then man it yourself, watch a movie while you just let the GPS steer and cruise control drive it across the field. All right, so that's all there is to planting. It's pretty simple. Covered the fertilization for it. This is your initial planting stage of the crop. It just looks like some little twigs sticking up out of the ground. The first growth state of this only gets a little bit taller, and it bushes out into a small shrubbery looking thing. And when it does that, you can put 1 more application of fertilizer on it and you'll be good to go. All right, so then you go through a couple of days, you get this growth state here where the plant now looks like it's dead, and you'll want to go ahead and harvest it. Now I'm going to give you another tip. When it gets to this state, go into your menu and turn your plant growth down off for the time that you're going to harvest it. And the reason why, right now, there seems to be a glitch in the game. That if you go a little bit past, like, let's say these just became harvestable. If I go another couple of hours with these sitting in this state, then all of a sudden I'll start to see some green leaves reappear, and they'll start to green up again, and the entire field will turn back into a regular tree. At that point, they're non-harvestable, and you can't do anything with them until you go through another 2 day cycles to get them back to this state here. We ran into that problem on the multiplayer server. The solution I found was to fast track through the next 2 days. Then when they entered this phase here, completely turn off the plant growth, and that gave us plenty of time to go ahead and harvest the field. I mean, we started harvesting, and probably if that was the edge of the field we were harvesting, we got to about right here, and all of a sudden the rest of the field started changing again on us. So keep that in mind. Once you get to this point, you might want to turn your plant growth off and save yourself a headache, and that not helping to you. Just remember to turn your plant growth back on after you finish up the harvest. All right, so we go ahead and get in here. We got our cutter head on the front, we got our trailer on the back, we're ready to go. So we're just going to pull up here, and we'll go ahead and start the cutting process. This cutter head doesn't have to be unfolded or anything, so you can put it on and just immediately start cutting with it. It's no big deal. So we'll go ahead and we'll approach up and we'll start to cut, and as you can see, there's a cool little animation of the trees wiggling around as they get cut. And we're going to run down through here. We're going to harvest up this row on the outside. Now, one of the things people keep asking me, is it really necessary to fertilize these? Now, I've outlined for you how I fertilize to grow these, but I will go ahead and for demonstration purposes, I've decided to only have 3 stages of fertilizer on the top section of this field. The bottom of the section only has 1 stage of fertilizer on it. So what we'll do is we'll go across here. I'm going to harvest this upper row, and as soon as it's done harvesting, then I'm going to go ahead and dump my trailer and we'll harvest again. Now, while we're doing this, let's talk about the economy, and is it really worth doing the poplar trees for you? Unless you're going to do a really big field, poplar trees don't really pay off that good in my experience. If you don't already own the equipment, they're going to cost you a lot of money. If you're thinking, well, I'll just rent the equipment to plant and harvest them, and I'll plant me a field of them, you better plant a big field, because again, they don't yield out like what you think you would get. This 1 row is going to only fill up 1/10 of my trailer. So that means I'm going to have to do another 9 rows in order to fill this thing up so that I can haul it off. And this is what, 30,000 liters? I really expected maybe, like, as bushy and everything as they were, I really expected you'd get like 3 or 4 rows and that would be all you needed. But it takes quite a bit more to get a yield out of this. So again, it's going to take about 9 or 10 rows on this field just to fill up this trailer, and that's not a great yield. All right, so if we look, we got 4,945. So not too wonderful. 4,950 is what we'll call it. I'm going to go ahead and dump this trailer out now onto the ground, and that way we'll have a clean trailer, and we're going to go do a row that hasn't been fully fertilized, so you can see what the difference in the harvest is on a row that is completely fertilized and one that only has 1 state of fertilization. Because a lot of people were questioning whether or not you needed to have a fully harvested field, or a fully fertilized field. I'm mixing my words up because I'm trying to make sure I get on the cutting head here. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that I get a little bit further outside, because I just want to get this outside row. I don't want to chintz in and accidentally get a little bit of the interior row. And I should be able to set my GPS up here and just follow straight across this line now. And we should be good. So we'll harvest up this row, and then we'll do a comparison for you. Remember, the other one was 49.50 basically on our wood chips. So, as far as the payoff goes, poplars, I would say if you already own your forage harvester, if you've already purchased one to do chaff, and you've already, eaten that expense, then paying $29,000 for the cutting head and going ahead and doing a big field of these will pay off. But if you don't have the equipment, you're thinking, well, I'll just rent the equipment and do these, you're probably just going to break even, because like I said, the yield is much lower than you expect it to be, and unless you get a really high demand on wood chips, it's probably not going to pay off for you. Now, if you're in it just to stockpile a whole bunch of wood chips so that as you have a high demand you can use it then, maybe it works for you. But as far as just renting the equipment, harvesting a field, and going and selling them for wood chips, you're probably gonna either just break even or barely make a little bit of money. So keep that in mind. It's not a big time money maker. So it's something that you might want to consider holding off on doing until you're a little bit further on in the game and you have the resources to sink into getting the equipment, or maybe you've already purchased a piece of equipment for doing corn. So, all right, so there we go. 38.21. So very much a huge difference in the number of wood chips that we got without the fertilized versus what we had with the fertilized. So just a nice contrast and comparison for you guys, so you can see the difference in what the yield is with only 1 fertilization versus with 3 fertilizations. So that's about it. It's pretty simple from there. It's just very time consuming and does take up a bit of resources as well. I mean, A lot of pallets of saplings will be used, and a lot of your time will be used, but that's all you need to do. At this point, you can go sell off your wood chips and do whatever you need to do. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this brief tutorial on how to do poplar trees. If you liked it, make sure you smash that like button for me. You can share it with your friends if you'd like, and then of course, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do videos each and every day for you, and we try to do a live stream each night around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, stay safe, have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.